Chris Brewer, owner of Money Saver Publishing.
Yes. And various other entities.
That's right. Tell me a little bit about Money Saver.
Well, Money Saver is a full-service direct mail company, and we do everything from saturation mail marketing, which is meaning we're hitting 75 to 90% of all the addresses in a given area with our full-color glossy magazine. We also do solo mail, which is basically individualized mailings to targeted lists of businesses or consumers and certain segments of the population, income, things like that, either in a postcard or a letter mailing, anything like that. And we also do some wholesale printing, giving people the product that they need to put in the mail. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
How did you get started?
Well, it was a dark and dreary night. No, I got started in this. I'm a serial entrepreneur. This is my third business, and I kind of fell into entrepreneurism a little bit accidentally, but I liked marketing, I liked sales, and I was pretty good at it, I thought, at least. And that's how I got into this. That was the question, wasn't it? Yeah, so I actually was in sales for an outdoor advertising company, and was done selling all of their inventory, pretty much, and was on the golf course too much. I don't know if you can be on the golf course too much, but I get bored with the same thing.
Having heard about your golf scores, I know it's true.
And so I wish I could have that kind of opportunity now. But so I just had an idea to go and sell other people's inventory, and so I got into sign brokering and that whole marketing level, and built what was Fine to Sign advertising up to several $1 million in annual revenues, and ended up selling that. And then needed something to do, and found upon the whole direct mail. Had a friend in Florida that was doing it, and recommended that this would be a great marketplace to do that. So again, I kind of fell into this because a guy walked in my office wanting to sell his publication, and figured that was the right time. And
Gotcha.
Lots of bumps and bruises along the way, and a lot of self-learning and real-world experience. So.
Well, when you're talking to clients, what is it about direct mail that helps them achieve their marketing goals?
You know, when you say direct mail, a lot of people get bored, or you'll start to see drool go down the side. You know, it isn't the most, in some ways, the most romantic type of media. You know, it's not television. It doesn't have the glitz, radio even, electronic media, even the internet. It has a little bit of the buzz to it, but, the post office, mail. But when it comes down to it, the reason why I recommend people do direct mail is, out of all the hundreds of radio stations and television stations and, gobs of internet addresses out there, billions of them, everybody still has one mailbox. And everybody checks their mail just about every day. And so where else can you go from the printer to the post office to the mailbox to the kitchen table of your best consumers? There's not very many places that you can do that. And when you can do that for as little as 14 cents for saturation postage, plus of course your printing and your list costs, if you can get a niche of people and mail them for under $1 a lead, considering a TV ad, just one 30-second spot on the news locally could cost you $1,000, $1,000. I think direct mail should be a pretty good part of your mix.
That's good stuff. Well, I know that not all direct mail pieces are created equal.
They're not?
What? That's what you've taught me. So what works?
Well, that is the $1 million question. What works? It's it's interesting. There's a lot of people say, what can I expect on return of direct mail? 2%, 3%? I've heard it's 1%. But it all comes down to the piece, the mail piece. And so whether it's a postcard, or it's an envelope, or a custom die cut piece, real fancy. I mean, it all comes down to what is the appeal to your end user. We get postcards in here brought in, and we kind of make fun of them sometimes. And it is a little sad, you see someone with a hair salon who has spent some time and money and energy to put a first class stamp on a card stock piece of paper and send it out with a 10% offer, and you just know that's going to bomb. Mm-hmm. And then she's going to say, what's she going to say, Darren?
Direct mail
doesn't work.
I've tried it
I've
once.
tried it, and so that is our biggest challenge, is
Mm-hmm.
getting the advertiser or the person who's going to market to really understand that it's not about ordering a postcard off the internet, sticking a stamp off a template deal, and it just doesn't work that way. So we have to be educators and get people to understand that, free consultation is not a good offer in most cases. We've been in business since 1972 is not a good offer in most cases. So it's the old call to action.
Call to action.
And that's the thing that, I would tell the young people out there. I tell the young people who are in school that those textbooks that have all of that great information that your professors tell you that you need to learn, once you get out of school, that's pretty much hoo-ha, is from what I've seen a lot of times. There's some good information, but ultimately, once you get out in the real world, a lot of what you learned in school doesn't always apply as far as marketing goes. Especially when most marketing textbooks are usually 3 or 4 or 5 years old. Mm-hmm. And, but ultimately it comes down to the quality, how the piece is designed. Are you mailing it to the right audience? You just can't mail out 5,000 pieces to just people around your business. Maybe it'd be better to find out who is your customer.
Your target market.
Right. Who is your target market? What kind of money do they make? How old are they? When was the last time they made a purchase? Do they subscribe to certain magazines that might, be able to put them, if you're in the auto business and you can get a list of people who are subscribed to Car and Driver, that might actually be a good target audience.
Right.
So a lot of people just kind of, I call it shotgun marketing. They'll shoot something out there and they'll see if it sticks, and if it doesn't, they go and they try something else. And direct mail is something that, because I know this is a question you're going to ask, it's usually not a one and done type of mailing. And so we're telling our clients all the time, they'll say, well, I want to mail 10,000 cards. Okay, great. How much is it going to cost? And I'd say, well, I'd much rather see you mail 1,000, to the same people at least 3 times.
3 times.
And then maybe we switch it up and we go to a new market. And so you've mailed to 3 different groups of people in 3 different areas of town or markets 3 different times. And it's that frequency. Not everybody is going to wake up and say, you know what, I need that widget. Mm-hmm. It's going to take repeated exposure and frequency to get it done.